Today we're going to do a Foundation Friday. We're going to do a side-by-side test of two Ilia foundations. So there is the True Skin Serum Foundation. This one came out about a year ago, but it is new on Sephora because they've added a bunch of new shades. They've added a lightest shade and they've added a darkest shade, and then they've added some in the middle as well. It's a completely different finish to one of the Ilia foundations that is an all-time favorite of mine. I have talked about this one so many times. It is the Super Serum Skin Tint SPF of 40. Here's the deal. Lots of people can't wear this one because this one truly is, in my opinion, for normal skin, normal to dry, or very dry skin, this one. If you have combination skin or you are oily, you probably would hate this because it really is super dewy on the skin and very, very hydrating. Now, this one actually has a different finish, and I think it could be appropriate for people with combination skin and possibly even people with oily skin. It's one of those foundations that I think actually can be worn by people with dry skin also. So I really wanted to compare the two because if that is the case, this one might be a nice alternative in the Ilia lineup if you are looking for a foundation. Also, I think it's just always great to compare foundations from the same brand so that if you are shopping that brand, you kind of have more information on how to make decisions about which one to choose. We'll go through all of the details and we'll compare cost, size, wear time, details of skincare benefits, and all of that good jazz. And we'll just see how they stack up to each other and how they might be for different skins and different finishes. So let's roll the application. Let's start with the Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint. This one is 1 ounce and retails for $48. It comes in a dropper style bottle that I don't find to be a bad version of a dropper style bottle. It's an SPF of 40, which is all mineral, non-nano zinc, and it comes in 30 shades. Now, this one gives a light, dewy coverage that starts out very, very dewy, but it does dry down within about 15 minutes to a soft, radiant finish, especially on dry skin. Normal skin can definitely wear this one too. I find that it lasts 6+ hours without powder, but it can last all day with powder. You can improve your skin barrier with this one if you have problems with your barrier because it has some really skin-loving ingredients in there. You can apply it with your fingers, although I personally love to apply it with a sponge. This does use a lot more product though when you use a sponge, of course. So it has some ingredient callouts that I find to be really wonderful. It has squalane in there, which can help with your hydration. Niacinamide, which is vitamin B3, can help with, pores and your barrier function and oil regulation. It has hyaluronic acid, which of course is a humectant. It is fragrance and oil free, and it is vegan. So here you can see on the side with the chair behind me is the serum tint, and then the other side is my bare skin. Just really gives a radiance to the skin and kind of brightens it up. Now we're going to move on to the Ilia True Skin Serum Foundation. This one is 1 ounce. It is $54, so it's a little bit more money. Comes in a glass bottle with a pump, and it does not have SPF. Now this one now comes in 30 shades. They've added a bunch of shades recently. This launched about a year ago, but they've reformulated it to add niacinamide and allantoin and an additional 12 shades. So this one is a medium natural finish. So it's not dewy and it's not completely matte, but it's something in between. It has a buildable from medium. So you can build it up even more than medium. Gives a very polished look instantly. So you don't have that kind of dewiness instantly. You get this blurring that just gives you this skin-like kind of polished look. Now you can apply this with your fingers or a sponge or a brush. I like to apply it with a sponge. I feel like it gives kind of an airbrushed look. Ingredient callouts again are that niacinamide and allantoin, which can help with your pores, redness, and soothing the skin. And then aloe in there helps with hydration. Here you can see on the side with the door behind me the Ilia True Skin. On the other side is the Ilia Super Skin. So you can kind of see the really different finishes. This is definitely for two different preferences as far as finish is concerned and two different skin types. Now let's do some makeup. will look at the two different sides, and I'll of course let you know which one is which. We're going to do the check-ins probably about 4 hours and 8 hours, and I will give you some final thoughts on the differences between these two. Okay, you guys, it has been over 8 hours since I put the foundations on, and my observation is essentially they wear very, very similarly. So it's funny, I looked throughout the day at the side with the serum tint, the SPF 40 that is on this side, and I definitely felt like it looked nicer on my dry skin all day long. Whereas this side, even though it wore about the same as far as they just kind of gradually wear off, they don't get patchy, they don't get dry or anything, this side just didn't look as pretty. And what I think is the kind of lesson there, or the observation, is that if you have oilier skin and you just cannot wear the serum tint from Ilia, you may really like the serum foundation that they have, the True Skin foundation, because it's definitely a drier finish with a little bit of like a powder down finish, but it's not super drying to dry skin. However, if you are like me and you like a little bit more of a luminous finish, you may not like this one as much, because it definitely has more of a flat finish versus a luminous finish. Now, when you first saw these two foundations, I know that you could really tell the difference in the luminosity. This side looks so shiny, almost oily. That definitely does dry down as the 15 minutes goes by or so after you put it on, especially if you have dry or dehydrated skin that just kind of sucks it up and it just settles down. So it doesn't stay like that all day long, but it stays kind of hydrated and nicer looking on drier skin. So what I would say is that these two foundations they kind of cover everyone. If you are someone with combination or oily skin, you can go for the True Skin tint. If you are normal to dry or even very dry, you may really like the Super Serum better. They're both wonderful. I think that the shade range is really great in both of them. And yeah, so I wanted to do this little comparison so you guys kind of had an idea about each of them and sort of how they were and sort of how they look and the different finish of both of them. I think that this might be great information if you are shopping on Ilia. I will put the cost comparisons and all of the pertinent information in the description box. I'll just kind of put almost like blog style in there so that you can compare in writing. All you got to do is look in that description box for all of that pertinent information. Hopefully this was helpful. I hope that you are all having a wonderful week so far, and I will see you in my next skincare video. Take care.